If after 60 you've noticed that your legs feel heavier, that climbing stairs has become harder, that after an ordinary walk you feel a fatigue that wasn't there before, most likely it's not just about age and not just about muscles. There's one reason that's almost never talked about in the context of leg weakness, and there's one simple product that directly affects exactly that reason. This product is not a protein shake, not an expensive superfood, and not something exotic. It costs almost nothing, is sold in any grocery store, and has probably already been sitting in your kitchen. But very few people know what actually happens in their legs when they eat it. Stay until the end, because there's one detail here that will surprise even those who think they already know everything about eating right. Most people think that leg weakness after 60 is simply aging muscles. And that's partly true. Muscle mass does decrease with age. But there's another reason that's often overlooked, and it's actually more important than the muscle itself. After 60, blood vessels gradually lose their elasticity. Capillaries, the tiniest vessels that deliver blood directly to muscle cells, narrow. Blood flow in the legs slows down. What does this mean in practice? The muscle receives less oxygen, fewer nutrients, and even if you eat enough protein, even if you move, the leg muscles simply don't receive what was sent to them. The resource is there, but the delivery isn't working. That's why legs tire faster. That's why after climbing to the third floor, you want to sit down. Not because the muscle is weak, but because it's chronically undersupplied with oxygen. A muscle is an engine. But if the fuel line is narrowed, even a good engine won't deliver full power. That product is beet. Yes, ordinary table beet. And right now, I'll explain exactly what it does in your body. Without vague words about vitamins and beneficial substances, beet has a very high content of nitrates. But not the nitrates added to sausage, natural plant nitrates, which the body processes in a completely different way. When you eat beet, the nitrates enter your saliva, where bacteria in the mouth convert them into nitrites. The nitrites are then absorbed into the blood and converted into nitric oxide, NO. Nitric oxide is a natural substance that the body itself produces to widen the walls of blood vessels. It literally relaxes vessels from the inside and gives blood more space to move. And this is where something that directly concerns your legs begins. Nitric oxide acts primarily where blood flow is most restricted. And after 60, that's the legs. The peripheral vessels of the legs respond to nitric oxide most noticeably. They widen, blood flow increases, and the leg muscles receive more oxygen under the same load. What does this mean in practice? Legs tire more slowly. Climbing stairs becomes easier. After a long walk, less heaviness. Not because the muscle suddenly grew, but because it's finally getting what it needs. In younger years, the body produces enough nitric oxide on its own. After 40 to 50, this ability gradually decreases. After 60, significantly, that's why vessels become less flexible. Blood flow in the limbs slows down, and the legs are the first to react. They're furthest from the heart. Beet is one of the few products that can replenish this deficit from the outside. Through food, not tablets. The nitrates in beet are not a supplement. They're a natural mechanism the body already knows how to use. Studies with older adults show regular consumption of beet or beet juice improves physical exercise tolerance, reduces oxygen consumption by muscles during walking and stair climbing, and improves blood flow in the lower limbs. The effect is noticeable within 2 to 3 hours after consumption and is maintained with regular intake. Simply put, the leg muscle starts doing the same work, but spending less effort because there's more oxygen. There's an important nuance here. Not every preparation method preserves nitrates equally well. Raw beet, maximum nitrates. Grated in a salad with oil and garlic, tasty and effective. But not everyone tolerates raw beet well due to its intense effect on digestion. Start with a small amount. Boiled beet loses some nitrates during cooking, but remains a good option. The key is not to overcook it. 30 to 40 minutes in water or 45 minutes in the oven. Boiled beet with oil and onion, a classic and simple side dish. Baked beet retains more nitrates than boiled. Wrap in foil, 200 degrees, 40 to 50 minutes. The flavor becomes sweeter and richer. Beet juice, a concentrated option. 150 to 200 milliliters per day is enough. But note, store-bought packaged juices often contain a lot of added sugar. Freshly pressed is better. or simply eat the beet itself. And here's one detail that almost nobody knows. Don't rinse your mouth with antiseptic mouthwash right after eating beet. This sounds strange, but it matters. The bacteria in your mouth play a key role in converting nitrates into nitrites. Antiseptic destroys those bacteria and blocks the entire mechanism. If you use mouthwash, do it an hour before or an hour after eating beet. 100 to 150 grams of beet per day is already enough to get a meaningful amount of nitrates. It doesn't have to be every day, but 3 to 4 times a week is a good regularity. Beet pairs well with carrots, potatoes, beans, greens, and any type of oil. Beet is not a medicine and not a magic remedy, but it's a real, cheap, and accessible way to improve blood supply to the leg muscles, exactly what they're most lacking after 60. Beyond nitrates, 2 more things that matter specifically after 60. Beet contains betaine, a substance that supports liver function and lowers homocysteine levels in the blood. Elevated homocysteine after 60 is linked to deterioration of blood vessel condition and increased cardiovascular risk. Beet helps keep this marker in check through diet. Beet also contains iron and folic acid. Iron is needed for the formation of hemoglobin, the same one that carries oxygen to the muscles. After 60, mild anemia is common and nearly invisible. A person simply tires faster than they should. Regular beet is one of the simple steps to avoid this. Step 1. Add beet to your diet 3 to 4 times a week. Boiled, baked, or raw. Any format works. Step 2. Eat beet before or during a main meal. This way, nitrates are absorbed more effectively. Step 3. Don't rinse your mouth with antiseptic right after beet. Let the bacteria in your mouth do their job. It's not complicated. Beet is one of the cheapest and most accessible products, and at the same time, one of the most specific, well-reasoned choices for supporting blood supply and leg strength after 60. If this information was useful, leave a like. It helps the channel grow and gives me an understanding of which topics you need most. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Simple and practical videos about health after 60 come out here regularly. And write in the comments, do you eat beet regularly or not? And do you feel a difference in your legs? I'm genuinely curious to find out.